adoption event. This is an adoption event put on by City Dogs and City Kitties Rescue. It's a rescue in DC. And we have over 8,700 pets that we've placed in homes in the past 12 years that we've been working with dogs. But we don't have a physical shelter. So all of our adoptable dogs are with wonderful fosters like you'll see today. So today we have 8 fosters, a lot of people to get through, but hopefully you guys will find somebody that you fall in love with and just can't wait to meet. So we're going to start off with Foxy, and Foxy is being fostered by Strigita. Foxy is a male 1-year-old cattle dog, and he weighs around 26 pounds. So Strigita, what can you tell us about Foxy?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I hope you can see him right now. He's very busy with his toys now. But yeah, so from what I got to know, Foxy was a stray at the shelter first, and then he almost got adopted, but was returned like before he even went to the home, something like that. And his personality is like he's very energetic, playful, and also like very cuddly and affectionate. Like you can see, I guess, like he loves attention like all the time. And he also loves to play. Like playing fetch is his most favorite thing, and he will not stop playing fetch. Like if you can play with him for 24 hours, I think he will probably just play with you. He will not stop. So Foxy's perfect day looks like he loves walks. So I get tired. Like I want to go home. He wants to keep walking. But at the same time, he doesn't nag you or like fuss around or like, force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Like he expresses it that I want to do this. But if you're like, no, I can't do this, he's like, okay, fine, whatever. And then like, starts playing with his toys. And yeah, his
Super
perfect
cute.
his perfect day, I hope he's like, yeah, everyone can see him. Yeah, so his perfect day basically looks like lots of walks, lots of playtime, and lots of playing fetch, and then at the end of the day lots of cuddling in your bed. Like he loves being on the bed if you allow him to, otherwise he's also very happy to be in his crate. So his crate is his like, safe house. Like when there's like lightning and thunder, or when I'm vacuuming, he likes to go in his crate and just take a nap or something. And so Foxy is actually a social butterfly when it comes to other dogs. He loves other dogs. And every time you're on our walks, like he sees a dog and he would go up to the dog and try to say hi and just start playing with the dog. It's like he loves dogs. Like if he could be around dogs, he would, that would be his other perfect day, I guess. So maybe his perfect day is like all of the things that I mentioned with other dogs, if possible, in the picture. So I actually didn't try to train Foxy at all. I just said, don't do this, and he just picked up like
Wonderful. Okay.
yeah. So I don't know if he was trained before, but he was a stray, so that would not have been possible. But he just picked up in like overnight. So he's house trained, crate trained, and he listens to sit, fetch, come, stay, like those things. But yeah, I did not try to train him. Like he's a smart dog.
Okay. And what do you think? I know you mentioned a little bit about, how he would be great with other dogs and he loves being with other dogs. What do you think his ideal forever family would look like?
Well, if there's a yard, or like we have a small patio, he likes to run around there by himself. So his ideal forever home would look like, definitely if there's a dog, that's like an added bonus in any way. Like he would be occupied with the dog and they could play. But also if there's like a space that he could run around by himself, that is also his ideal forever home. And he's very high energy. So if there's at least 2 people in the house, so even if one person is not playing with him, the other one can, and like if they can alternate, so that would, in my opinion, that would be his ideal forever home. But I take care of him alone right now, and he doesn't give me too much of a problem. But like I would prefer that he has someone that could give him constant attention that I can't all the time. And
Awesome. Is there anything else that you think that a potential forever family or adopter should know about Foxy?
Yeah, so some things that really impress me about Foxy is like how considerate and mindful he is. Like when he's eating, like of course things spill out of the bowl and he cleans up the mess around the bowl by himself. I don't tell him to do that. And then, on our walks, sometimes I was sharing this with the foster group also, that on our walks, sometimes like we come come across a free library, like, you know, those little doors. And I like to check out those things. And he doesn't, you know, try to go this way or that way. He waits till I close the door, and then he, like, you know, okay, come this way. And then he tugs at the leash. And, you know, just little things like that. He's very sweet. And yeah, when you say no, he always listens. And the other thing is, he's a bit wary of strangers at first. Like, he would bark at anyone who comes through the door, including the letter, like someone who delivers letters or packages, like, gets barked at for no reason at all. But once he realizes that, okay, this person is good, this person is safe, then he's all over that person. And yeah, I think that's basically him in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting us hear all about Foxy. Everybody watching can find out more about Foxy on CDCK's website, which is citydogsrescuedc.org. And they can find more about Foxy specifically at his little website, which is cdck.cc/adoptfoxy. And Foxy is spelled Foxy. Thank you so much to Foxy and Srijita.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, up next we have Kaylie, who is being fostered by Raheem. So Kaylie is a female retriever mix. She's about 2 years old and she weighs around 34 pounds. Hi, guys.
Hello.
So can you tell us just, can you tell us a little bit about Kaylie?
Kaylie is such a sweetheart. We managed to piece some things together. She was brought in as a stray, but she clearly had had puppies before that and been fixed before she was brought in as a stray. So we think she probably was with another family at some point before she came into the city dog system. We've had her 3 Saturdays ago. She's such a sweetheart. On intake day, you know, they had come up in the big van full of other dogs and cats even, and still, you know, you'd think they might be a little traumatized by it, but she was very sweet with us. When we walked her out to the car, she jumped right in, you know, even after being on this van for however many hours. She loves car rides. We discovered that. And she's really good with people. On the day after we got her, we had some friends unexpectedly drop by, no problem. She greeted them. She's not defensive of the home or anything, and that hasn't changed.
Wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit about Kaylie and what her favorite thing to do is?
Well, she's really calm. Her favorite thing, I think I would have to say, is to be with people. She doesn't demand a lot of you. She just wants to be near you. But when one of us leaves and comes home after a few hours, she really gets excited. She spins around in circles and tries to kiss you on your face, picks up a toy that's on the ground and flings it and prances around with it. But that only lasts for a few minutes, because at base, she's a really calm dog. You can see she's resting right now. We took a walk before this call, so she'll settle down very quickly. Was that enough?
Yeah, that's plenty. And I know you mentioned a little bit about how she was with your friends, but can you mention how she is around other people, whether it's on walks or people that she meets?
She doesn't seem to have any real fear of people. She's always happy to meet them, but she's not one of those dogs that aggressively tries to meet other people, but she doesn't avoid them either.
On the second day that she was here, we had some friends come over, and she flopped down on her back on top of our friend's feet and like asked for a belly rub. So the first time she met this woman, that's what she did. So she's super friendly and very calm around people. she'd be great. She'd be a great dog for an older person. We had her with Raheem's mom, who's in her 80s, and you know, she's a 37-pound dog, but she doesn't pull on the leash, and she is very calm, and she was great with Raheem's mom.
Wonderful. So for anybody that's interested in adopting Kaylie, could you guys give a little bit of advice or anything that you think they should know about her?
I guess I would say that that she's, you know, we've only had her for about 15 days, and she's still adapting to our home, and she's adapting to us, and she doesn't feel entirely safe. So she wants to have people around all the time. And so I guess if you adopt Kaylie, you need to be ready to have someone with her most of the time until she feels safe. Other than that, she's a super easy dog, potty trained, like Raheem said, easy to get in and out of the car, and she's got a lot of really great attributes.
Yeah, like she's not seemingly concerned with thunder. Our last dog was terrified of it. She doesn't do zoomies or puppy chewing. She's very easy to groom. We've even clipped her nails, and she needed it. She has put on a few pounds. She came to us very skinny at 34 pounds. Now she's at about 37. So still pretty slim, but looking much healthier.
And she's been on 5-mile hikes with us. It was no big deal for her. She's very chill right now, but she also can take a lot of exercise, or not. She seems to be very flexible.
And she's very easy to walk. She will stand there while you put on the vest and harness and the leash. She waits patiently. And when we go on walks, she definitely is interested in squirrels, but if we tell her, no, we got to keep going, she leaves them alone. So I think she's a great dog. She'd make someone an awesome pet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share about Kaylie?
She'd probably do best in a home right now without another dog. We're not, and without a cat. It's probably one of those homes that's where she's the focus of attention.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to all three of you. Again, this is Kaylie. You can find more about her on the on the City Dogs website, which is citydogsrescuedc.org, or at her website, which is cdck.cc /adoptkaylie. And Kaylie is spelled Kaylie. Adorable. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So up next, we have Nancy. So Nancy is being fostered by Dave and Alice. She is a 2.5-year-old beagle, and she weighs around 22 pounds. So what can you tell us about Nancy?
Well, hello there. So I'm Dave, and so my wife Alice is actually upstairs with my with our son. He's a 15-month-old. Coming up here in another few days, so he's being a little crazy right now. But anyways, but this is Nancy, as you can see here, and she's very interested in the toy that she has right now because there's some treats that are hidden in it. So, anyways, so Nancy was I believe she was a stray and was found and was from North Carolina, and so basically we've had her now for about a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, close to that. But so anyways, like you said, she's like 2.5 years old or so she still kind of has a lot of that like puppy vibe to her. So she's pretty high energy, but she does still manage to sleep a lot during the day. So I work from home, and so I'm with her, and so she likes to be wherever you are. So if I'm upstairs, she'll follow me around, or if I go downstairs, which is where my office is, she'll follow me down there and then just plop herself on the couch or the chair and just sleep for hours. And then when I'm finished or when we go for a walk, she gets very excited. So we also have another dog, another beagle, about the same size. His name is Gus, and so they both get along really, really well. They're around the same size, so she does play really well with him. They do run around the yard. She does have a little more energy than he does. He's like 8 or 9 years old, so but she keeps him on his toes. So but she's extremely affectionate. And absolutely loves her toys. She likes rope type toys a lot. We have made amazing progress with potty training. So, I mean, initially it was a little bit of work, but we've really rounded a corner with that and setting that schedule with her. You know, she sleeps in a little doghouse at night up in our bedroom. She has no problems with that anymore or anything. And then, you know, it's establishing that routine, you know, and I get up first thing in the morning for work pretty early. You know, she gets up, follows me downstairs, she goes outside, immediately does her business. So, I mean, that's been a really big, especially in the last week, that's really, you know, really made a lot of progress there. So she's really, really good on walks. We take her on 2 pretty good walks a day with our other dog, and then sometimes my wife and my son will be there as well. But she's very easy to walk. She doesn't pull or like. She is interested in squirrels, but you know, doesn't make too much of an effort to really go after them. So I mean, she's very walkable. Like I said, the energy. She's great with my son. She's very patient with him, which is really good. So he's still kind of learning to be like gentle and petting dogs and everything, still figuring that one out, but she's extremely patient with him. Not a mean bone in her body, honestly, whatsoever. If she wasn't occupied with her toy, she would probably like have her head on my shoulders or like be standing on my shoulders or something. So as I'm kind of sitting on the floor and that's the couch. So but anyways, what else? So that's kind of the high points. Yeah. Very good. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, and we also have several other dogs in our family too, of which they're all beagles as well. Shocking. So, you know, and she's also very good with them. So she's met them, and they're all kind of varying in age, but she's great with them. She'll run around the yard, get that energy out. We have a nice like fenced in front yard. But yeah, I mean, she's really good with anyone. You know, I'd say she's good with anyone with kids. You know, that high energy. She's not a real big jumper. She won't jump up on you, like, but she'll greet you and whatnot and kind of follow you around. And she gets super excited when she sees you for the first time, or even first thing in the morning, or even after breakfast. So, yeah.
Awesome. So you shared a lot about Nancy, so you knocked out some of my questions already, but if you could plan out her ideal day, what do you think it would look like?
Her ideal day, honestly, would be she gets up first thing, and our other beagle likes to eat breakfast right away. So breakfast right away, and then a nice long walk to, like, we have a couple of local parks here. Loves to do that. She could walk forever if she, you know. So that. And then honestly, like running around the yard, she will like chase after, you know, if I throw a ball or something, but then she kind of becomes a little disinterested in it. I don't know if it's because it's a lacrosse ball, but anyways, yeah, no. And then after that, she could sleep for, like I said, several hours, and then wake up and then be immediately fine, and want to play. So it's almost like she could really like play, put the pause button on, sleep, wake up, play again, do it all over. So yeah.
Awesome. And what do you think her perfect forever family would look like?
I'd definitely say like honestly very, I don't want to use the word versatile, but really like I could honestly see her with kids as obviously like I have a son who's, you know, a little over a year old. He's obviously met, you know, my nephews who are, you know, like 10 months old, and my son's coming downstairs now. It's okay, buddy. Who's 10 months old and 3 years old and does great with either of them. So families with kids, I could even say, a couple as well. Really, like, I could honestly see her just about anywhere. I know, as cliche as that sounds, but I mean, she's been in multiple like environments. So
Awesome. Are there any final thoughts that you want to share about her?
she is, I would say, be ready to be smothered in love and kisses. Honestly, we'd be sitting there watching TV and she will make sure that she knows that, like, she gets like love and attention, and she will curl up next to you. She has to be like touching you in some sort, like laying next to you or sitting next to you or whichever, balled up, so yeah, no, I mean, she has nothing but love to give.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much. If anyone wants to find out more information about Nancy, they can find it at her website, which is cdck.cc/adoptnancy. So cute. And Nancy is spelled Nancy. Oh, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hi. Up next, we have Ollie, who is fostered by Kelsey. We have yet another hound. So he's 5 years old, and he's around 52 pounds.
Yep. I guess the first thing you need to know is sometimes he's afraid of screens, which I just pulled up to him, and of course, yeah. So he's afraid of the TV a little bit, but buddy, it's okay. We're working on it. Yeah. So Ollie, he's a like 5-year-old hound. He's had a lot of history here at City Dogs. I don't know if anyone follows the Facebook. There was a separate Facebook page when he was went missing. He's quite an escape artist and got out of a previous foster's yard around 4th of July and went missing. And since then he's been a little more fearful of things, but he loves looking out that window. So here, we'll just let him do that. But in general, he loves his food and naps, and the more Kong balls, the better, of course. He's pretty low energy, pretty docile and submissive. We have 2 very young dogs that play pretty rough, and he just kind of, he tries to play, but then they get to be too much for him. And he just kind of stands there. But I do know in a previous foster home, he was pretty playful with a dog that was maybe a little more his speed. So I know he'll get there, and we're working on it. He loves to sniff around the yard. We have a big fenced in yard, and he likes that high, very, very high fence, so that he can't jump over it. It takes him a while to warm up to new places, but and like I said, he was lost for like six days back in July, and that I think contributed to a lot of slow warming up, but he's getting there. He's made so much progress since he's been with us for the last 3 weeks. He's still not used to the TV or loud noises. So his ideal home would be in the suburbs, no city noises, no yard, or a yard would be nice. And having like a confident dog really, really helps him. We tried to walk him the first few days we had him without our dogs, just because I thought it'd be better because it'd be calmer, but he does a lot better with them. I think they're helping him gain confidence. Even though they're a little bit too much for him to play with, he likes being around them. So he's slowly,
certainly being very brave right now.
Yes, he is. I know. I didn't know if because I do work in this room, and I have my screens. They don't typically bother him, but I guess because it's pointed at him, he's a little bit scared. But his peanut butter just ran out, of course, right in time.
Yeah.
But he is pretty. He doesn't need a ton of exercise. He loves a quiet walk. Again, with another dog, really helps him. He is kind of hard to walk alone right now, and since when we first got him, he wouldn't even go outside alone without one of us or a dog, but now he'll go right out. He'll sniff around. Well, we watch him sniff around out there. So he's come a long way, and I think in the right home, he'll warm up pretty quickly. There are some videos. He has his own Instagram somebody has with the old videos. So yeah.
So do you have any stories that you can tell us about him to help us get a good sense of his personality?
Yeah, I have. So I have a couple come to mind, and one of them is when we first picked him up from his foster in DC. He's not a fan of cities, so that's why he's out here with us in the suburbs. But we got him in the car, and we have this big barrier that keep our dogs separate. And it's pretty heavy duty, I would say. But like 30 minutes into the car, that is an hour drive. 30 minutes into the drive, he just suddenly realized that he was couldn't get to us and that he was isolated from us, and he actually broke down that barrier. So now we have to, it's made for a funny picture, but now we have to be sure to tether him down pretty good. I do think that is was fear-based, but he is an escape artist for sure. He does not like being isolated, which is why I think another dog would help. He's fine if we leave the house as long as our dogs are here. And then another story is, again, kind of how much he likes one of our two dogs. She'll be outside longer than the other two. She really likes just sitting out there and guarding it. But as long as she is outside, he is right next to that window, watching her, making sure she's okay. Not that he would do anything, because he is very calm. And then as soon as she barks to come in, he'll come get us. He'll pace around and make sure that she's gonna get inside in time. So he's a sweet guy. He is. It just it's okay. As you can tell, now I closed the door to my room, which is, he also does not like that, because the other dogs aren't in here, because if they were in here, they would be taking up all the camera time. It's okay, buddy. So
could you tell us what your favorite thing is about Ollie?
Well, normally, I guess right now it's not maybe the best. It takes him a while, and with dogs that take a while, for me, my dogs are super affectionate right away. But with dogs that take a while to warm up to, it means that much more when they do like you. And when they finally do warm up, he'll come and put the most affection he ever gives anyone is he comes and he just puts his head in your lap. And he doesn't jump up, he doesn't get on furniture, but that means so much, because he is so scared of everything that when he sitting right next to me right now, that I can't move I'm afraid to move it, because he sees himself, and I think it's freaking him out. But he's so gentle, and honestly, he's so different than my other dogs in all the best ways. But
he's adorable.
Yeah, we try. But he is, and he knows how to sleep better than any dog I've ever seen. He's great, but he also, with the right dog, would be very playful, and I think that's what we can't give him. My dogs are too much for him.
Do you have anything else that you want to share about Ollie?
I wrote stuff down, and of course I haven't followed it. So I have never, I think I've heard him bark like once, and I want to point that out because he is a hound dog, and I know hound dogs are known for barking, but he doesn't bark. When people come into the house, he's very calm and greets. He's not scared of people. He's not scared of anything but really loud noises and screens, and being shut in a room, apparently. But, and it's funny, really, because of the situation that we're in right now, he looks way more fearful than he is. He's actually come really far. It's just, in order to do a Zoom call, we have to shut a door and have a screen, which are two of his triggers. So he's come a long way.
Yeah. Thank you so much for arranging to have him in this situation that he doesn't love so much, even though it's very helpful. And thank you both for being here. So if you guys want to find out more about Ollie, you can go to his website, which is cdck.cc /adoptollie. You can also find more information at the City Dogs website, which is citydogsrescuedc.org. Thank you guys again. We just had 2 hounds. We're going to have 2 huskies next. Up next, we have Paula. Paula is being fostered by Deborah, and she is a 2-year-old, 40-pound Siberian Husky mix. So, Deborah, what can you tell us about Paula?
So right now she's really chill. I think because she had some walks today. She's right. She's all my phone. If I stand up, she's going to get excited. So I just want you to see her kind of chilled out right now. I don't know what this new position is. So Paula, sorry. If I get on the floor, she's going to get all over me. She's super affectionate. This is sort of how she is. If you need to leave her somewhere, this is kind of her room. We have a 15-year-old cat who's not well. So we've been keeping them apart. And so this is really where Paula is, unless my son's home and he has her in the basement with him. And she has a crate. So when we need to have her, in the room or at the crate at night, she's amazing. She doesn't bark. She doesn't whine. She just basically waits for us to come. And then when we're ready to get her, she just is so excited. She is a people dog. She loves affection. Let's see what she does. She's a little tired. So if I come to the couch, she's actually pretty obedient. Well, come up. Come here, sweetie. Here you go. So she does like to, she's not jumping. She likes to give a hug. Come on up. There you go. You can see her. So the thing is, she's just, she can't contain herself with the affection. That's why I had her on the floor. There she is. She's looking. So notice she's got one very blue eye and one brown eye. She's beautiful. So when we need her, just, when I have to go to work or we're going to bed, she's quiet. She goes in her crate. She's a very fast learner. So this is probably around day 10. Day 1, she didn't sit. She wouldn't really follow commands. And when it came time to go in the crate, we had to really shove her in. She did not want to. But now I just tell her crate, and she knows the routine. She'll go in without a fuss. She might need a little nudge, and that's about it. No complaining. But kisses. But I think she's a little insecure. So when she's excited, she wants to jump up. But she's not a jumper, but she kind of gets up on her hind legs and just wraps her arms around you. I don't usually sit with her. You're good. And let's see. So she's super smart. So since we've had her, and just literally within the 24 hours, she was sitting on command. She is leash reactive. So well, I want to see you, not me. She's leash reactive. So I kind of looked up what to do, and now just either giving her lots of attention and calming her and giving her treats. She's been great. We walk by dogs, and sometimes she just wants to play. She gets so excited. So she'll pull and whine, but now she's not really doing that as much. She's just walking by, but she's definitely interested, loves other dogs. And what else have we taught her? The crate training. She's been house trained. We've never had a problem in the house with her. She doesn't chew things. She doesn't destroy things. So I'd be very confident letting her roam around if we didn't have the cat. So we may, we've been doing a little bit of introduction from a distance. So we may test that out this week, see how she does with cats. But she's pretty interested. She goes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell us any stories about Paula that you've experienced so far that will give us a good sense of her?
Well, so what I learned about her, I just thought she had to have had a home before, because she's so affectionate. I think she'd be great with kids. So I did a little reading and learned that she was with an owner who just could not afford to keep her. So she definitely is used to being in a house. When we first get her out for a walk, she's a little crazy. Like, she wants to go. So her routine is like, get outside and roll in the grass. We have this long ornamental grass right outside our door, and she just pulls to get into the grass, and she rolls for about 1 or 2 minutes. And then we have our walk. And then if the dog park is empty early in the morning, I let her run there by herself. And then, yeah, she's just, like I said, I think she wants to learn and play and be with people. But yeah, I did when I picked her up at the City Dogs shelter, just met her. she would not get in the car. She's like, no, I just got off a truck and I'm not getting back in the car. But she allowed herself to be lifted in. And then as soon as she got in, she pulled her vest off. I had her kind of the leash wrapped around something to keep her stable, but she pulled everything off. But then she was fine. She's really pretty easygoing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does she tend to do around other people, whether it's people that she sees very frequently or people that she just rushes upon on the street?
Friendly, she's great with people. Everyone falls in love with her. The only thing we're trying to figure out is she does jump up to greet you, but it's a very gentle kind of, feels like she wants to give you a little hug or a little greeting. So I guess we might have to train that out of her, but she doesn't, she's not, doesn't scare people. We haven't tested her with young children, but it did say in her report that she was fine with kids, whoever relinquished her. So I would feel very confident with her kids. I don't think she's going to be a problem. She's just super sweet, super smart, and very high energy. She just loves to exercise. So if she can get to a park with a fence or a tennis court or something, she likes to run around. But she'll come back to you. She's very loyal.
And what do you think Paula's ideal forever home or forever life would look like?
A lot of affection and someone who might not mind her getting on a couch that's just her couch, or a nice soft bed. But you can see she just wants love. That's really her big motivation. It's not even treats, it's not toys. So I'd say a house with people who want to like hang out with her and take her out and play. And I think kids are fine, and no kids would be fine. Other dogs, I think, would be fine. We have done 2 introductions one-on-one very carefully, and she seems to just love having another dog around. So that would work. But I think if she's on her own too, I think her motivation is just getting someone's affection. And like I said, active so that she could be taken for walks pretty frequently. She doesn't need to go super far, but she does need that exercise. Oh, she did learn to go up and down the stairs too. She was terrified, but it's just, if she knows she has your reassurance, it just doesn't take her long. She's very trainable.
It's wonderful. We have some very brave, smart foster dogs on this call today. So are there any final thoughts that you have or things that you want to share about Paula?
No, I just think she's really special as a foster dog. It's just so easy with her. It's easy and it's fun. Because my son likes to try to train her. So I think that's a nice challenge, and she's responsive. And I think she's, like I said, I think she's very adaptable, but there's a little bit of, I think a little fear of being left behind. So yeah, no, she's amazing. She's amazing. I think she'll be an easy dog to take into anyone's home.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. So everybody else can learn more about Paula at her little website, which is cdck.cc/adoptpaula. And Paula is spelled Paula. Thank you guys so much again. Up next, we have Penelope. She is yet another husky mix. She's 4 years old and she weighs around 36 pounds. So Eliv, what can you tell us about Penelope?
Penelope is the sweetest dog in terms of the love that she has for her humans, or any human really. She just wants to be pet and be near people. When she sees somebody on the street, like she won't jump on people, but she will demand pets. We live in an apartment building, and if we run into our neighbors, she will literally bump her head to the people that she sees and will not let go until she's pet. She likes being around people, and she also does well with dogs that we introduced her. So we introduced her to one of our friends' dog first, and they got along great. So we have been slowly taking her to like dog parks as well. So she loves to play. She's very smart and affectionate. Yeah, that's her in a nutshell.
Awesome. So what's your favorite thing about Penelope?
So two things. I like how smart she is, and I didn't realize it at first because when she came into our house, she was very scared. So it took her about a week to show her personality. But I realized how smart she is after we started training sessions. So she will pick up on what you're trying to teach her very, very fast. And I also bought her this like toy, which is supposed to keep dogs busy for like hours at an end per Amazon reviews. It takes her about 3 minutes to eat all the treats within the toy. And secondly, she just shows you your love like in so many ways. So I love to be smothered in love by her.
Awesome. So how does she do around kids, grown-ups, other people that she meets? All of the above.
So she is great with like all people with any ages. So we don't have kids, but she has met kids before and she does great with them. I think she thinks some kids are like dogs. She like gets on a more playful kind of vibe when she's around kids. So maybe like very small children should be watched because she kind of is very playful with them, but her tail is always wagging. So she's always very friendly. And with like older people, adults, she's also great.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned her little puzzle that is not very puzzling for her, but does she have a favorite toy?
She loves all toys, but she loves to hang out with people more than anything. So when you give her a toy, she will play with it. But if you call her to pet her, she would prefer that.
Okay. And what do you think her forever family looks like?
So her forever family probably shouldn't have a cat because in her previous foster home, there was a cat and she was chasing the cat, which is the reason she got transferred into our care. And also she would do best in a home where she doesn't need to be left alone. So she has some separation anxiety. And even though she's the sweetest dog when you're around, when you have to leave her alone by herself, she panics. She is crate trained and she will go into her crate, but she will just cry if she's left alone.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting us know about that. That's an important thing that adopters should know. Is there anything else that you want to tell us or that you think is important to know about Penelope?
Just that if you decide to take Penelope, just be ready to be showered with love. And she has been patiently waiting for like an hour on the couch, which is, I think, why she's running around right now. But normally she will just be by your side like that.
Oh, she is adorable with those eyes. Well, thank you guys both so much. Everybody watching can find more information about Penelope at her website, which is cdck.cc/adoptpenelope. And Penelope is spelled Penelope. Thank you both so much. And last but not least, we have Tigger, and he is being fostered by Anjanette. So Tigger is a pit bull terrier mix. He is 2 years old and he weighs around 55 pounds. So Anjanette, what can you tell us about him?
I'm trying to get his bone away from him so he'll pay attention. Hey, Tiggy. So here, okay, go ahead, Tiggy. As you can tell, though, he doesn't resource guard because this is a knee bone, which is like gold in the dog world. But so Tigger's funny. He reminds me of like an awkward teenage boy in a dog's body. He is so sweet and sensitive and kind and so much fun. But he's a strong boy and he can get a little intimidated by other dogs. I have 2 dogs. In fact, I just had to push everyone upstairs because the 3 of them were just like going to town and it's just me. So it was a little bit of chaos in here. He loves other dogs. Here, Tiggy. He loves other dogs, but he's a little bit selective. So it's a matter of him finding his right match. Come here, Tiggs. Come here. Want this? He's like, I don't know. He's like, so many options. You want this? Can you show him how you can sit? Can you sit, big boy?
Oh,
Sit.
and Jeanette, we can't see him.
Oh no. Where?
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Good tick. Can you sit for me? Oh, yes, a good boy. Good boy. So he is, when I say that he's sensitive, like he's one of those dogs that like, if you're being emotional or if something's going on, he just wants to come over and be like, are you okay? What's going on? I love you so much. I love you so much. He loves to be on the bed and the sofa. He has no concept of personal space. He's kind of your stereotypical pit bull, you know, big and strong, but a total mush. And come here, Tiggy. What is you doing? And he loves toys. He loves his walks. Sit down, my love. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, you good boy. Good boy. Now I'm so distracted by him. I forgot what I was saying. But he is just, he's a great guy. I don't have a yard, so we just do a lot of walking. I think he'd love a yard, like any dog would love a yard. But as long as he's taken on a lot of good walks, he can do without it. He doesn't need to be in a home with another dog, but I think if he could find his match, it would be a good thing because he is not going to be a dog park dog. He loves to play with other dogs, but he just gets too overstimulated. The first time we went to a dog park, and this is where he gets his awkward boy syndrome. He wanted to be badass with a German Shepherd, so picked a fight and lost. And he was the one that got hurt, and we ended up in the doggy ER. The Shepherd was fine, but he was like, oh my gosh. So, but he is just a sweet little soul. He just has to kind of work on his getting overly excited. But he's not high energy at all. I would consider him pretty low end, medium energy. I work from home and he pretty much sleeps all day. He'll just like crawl up on my bed and look out the window. He's on my dog's Instagram and there's some funny pictures where he'll just jump up on a chair in my living room and be half asleep and just staring out the window, looking at the world go by. Yeah, so he's pretty chill when it comes to that. He's great. He is not even the slightest bit leash reactive, which is amazing. I'm in the suburbs, but when we did go, we learned when we had to go to DC for the vet ER that the city does not bother him at all. But the one thing I would be concerned about is in an actual apartment building where he's got to have close contact going down halls. That might not be the best bet for him in case he gets overstimulated or intimidated, but we'll go back and forth with dogs in the neighborhood. He's so good with people. He loves to meet people, but he will pay attention to me instead of the people unless they initiate, and then they're going to be hugged. He is definitely a Tigger, and Tiggers bounce. So he will do this running up in the air to kiss you in the face, and he'll just want to run and jump and bounce. And he really is a Tigger in every sense of the word. All right, buddy. I'm trying to think of all the different questions you've asked different people. He has done pretty good with kids. He's definitely not scared of them. But because he's so big and strong, probably not the best for small kids, mostly because he will just knock them over. And when he does get overexcited, he can be a little bit mouthy. I have to remind him that he can't play with me like Ben in London. Like I was laying on my bed the other day and Ben in London. So my dogs are about 10 years old. And so they did not want to play. So he jumped up on the bed, bit me in the ass and ran away, hoping I would chase him. So I'm like, no, Tigger, that is not how we play with humans. But he definitely just wants to please, aren't you? You're just a big love bug. Yes, crab kisses.
So can you tell us what your favorite thing about Tigger is?
I think it's his affection. Like he just loves you with his whole body. Right now, he's much more fixated on the treats than me. But come here, Tigger. Give me hugs. Come here. You're a good boy. You're such a good boy. And he's just a big lover. You know, when you ask about ideal family, it's kind of like I would love to find someone for him that, you know, really understands pit bulls because they are so misunderstood. They can be strong. But they are just big loves and big mushes. And when you've got an adolescent like Tigger, sometimes they've got a little bit to learn, but he just like, my whole world right now revolves on him being safe and finding the right home. Because when you're dealing with pit bulls, my doodle is a jerk and people think it's funny. My pit bull gets herself into trouble and people are they're evil about it. So he's just so sweet. He's just the kindest, most affectionate boy. And I just want him to find a place where he'll be happy and safe. Because he's worth it. He's just, you are, yes, I love you so much. Yes, I do. You're such a good boy. Yes. Yeah, if you don't like being kissed in the face, he might not be the dog for you, because that's just kind of how he rolls.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that about pit bulls. I think it is really important for people to know, especially looking at rescue dogs like Tigger. So could you give us a little bit of what you think his ideal forever family would look like?
So I live alone in a 3-story townhouse and have 2 dogs, and we get along fine. Like we get everything done because we walk a ton anyway. So I think because we walk as much as we do, it's good. But I think he would probably do better at least with, another dog in the home or another human in the home. Because I think if it was just me, I probably wouldn't be able to keep him entertained enough. And he would probably be even more mouthy because he just wants to play, and just be a Tigger. And I think that would probably be a little much for someone. You'd be chewed on a lot. So I think whether it's another human that can help give him some exercise or the right dog. He's, like you said, about 55 pounds. My pit bull is about the same exact size. They get along great. My doodle is a bit of a brat, and Tigger is totally submissive to him. So I think his issue is really with bigger dogs. So, but I think, like I said, he doesn't have to have a yard. It would be great because it'd be easier to exercise him. But if not, just someone who hikes and walks, and he loves playing in the creek. So just someone that's willing to be active with him. He is house trained, although once in a while he's a stinker and decides to mark, but that's the exception, not the rule. He is allowed to free roam in my house. Like, initially I created him and he was cool with it because of my dogs. I just didn't want anything getting fired up. But now he's completely allowed to roam wherever. No separation anxiety whatsoever. He's totally cool being left alone. I think he'd be sad if he was all alone all day long, because he just wants to always be nearby. But he's independent enough that I'll be like in my office down the hall and he'll be crashed on my bed. So he doesn't need to be on top of you all the time. So I think he's great for someone who might be out of the home some of the time. They don't have to worry about him being left behind and being dealing with any separation anxiety. So I think there's definitely some versatility in him with that. Where are you, buddy?
Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share about Tigger?
Just that he's a great guy. It's just with so many of these dogs, they've got their quirks, but they all have the right people out there for them somewhere. So it's just a matter of kind of giving them a chance. My pit bull was a problem child, and she's the best thing that's ever happened to me now. So I would not consider him at all a problem child. He just has a few, like we all do, a few little quirks that you would have to be sure that you keep track of in order to make sure he stays safe. But he's just a great guy. He's just a big, big love of a lug.
Awesome. Well, on that note, I will wrap up with Tigger. I would like to thank both of you guys so much. Tigger and more information about him can be found at his website, which is cdck.cc/adopttigger, and Tigger is spelled Tigger. You can find more information about Tigger and all of the other dogs that we've talked to today, and all of the dogs that we didn't talk to today that are also being fostered, on the City Dogs website, which is citydogsrescuedc.org. At that website, you can also find volunteer opportunities. You can become a foster and help foster some of these wonderful dogs. And yeah, I just want to thank the fosters so much for all of the work that you do, all the time and the energy that you give to all of these dogs who I'm sure would be grateful if they knew this was happening. And I want to thank our audience for watching and for caring about these dogs and for wanting to accept them into your lives. That's the fosters and our adopters and everyone that engages with us. You guys are the reason that we can do the work we do and that we can help get all these dogs to their permanent homes. I also want to thank my volunteers for helping me run all this behind the scenes, helping me host all of these things. So thank you guys all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we will